God of War, here we are kind of after the dragon, or I think, no, definitely right after the dragon, and we get a couple of arrow upgrades. We got some mistletoe arrows for Atreus there from Sindri, so that's kind of nice, and I don't really know why they were any better than what we were using before. I don't think they are, so I guess we just upgraded them with the dragon tooth, I think is what happened there. But anyway, now when you see some chests that are wrapped around sort of the tree, bramble root, whatever the heck it's called, that we've seen a few times throughout the game now, you should be able to deal with it. In most cases for the collectibles, you'll be able to blow them up with a tree sap shatter crystal that's right next to it. Sometimes you might have to go find some shatter crystal and throw it on the chest and then blow it up, as we did with the dragon there. So kind of up to you what you're gonna have to do. Actually, it's not up to you, it's up to the game on what you're gonna have to do if you ever run into that. But we are finally reaching sort of the home stretch toward the summit, and that means there's going to be just a few more things we got to do before we get there. I think the next video is all cutscenes, so this one's not really too lengthy as far as fighting and puzzles and all of that go, but there is a Nornir chest, and there's also an area with a bunch of these guys that ended up being, and I'm not kidding, the hardest area for me in the game. So this guy was just kind of being a test for me right now. Finally I get this stupid parry to work, and it was also kind of amplified because that stupid nightmare got inside of me. As I've said many times, you really want to kill the nightmares first if you can, but it can be a little bit weird aiming on them, just because sometimes the axe is very nice and it will auto-aim itself toward the enemies that you're generally aiming toward, and other times it wants your stupid aimer to be dead on the enemy. So it's the woes of aiming with a controller is just kind of what happens here.
There we go.
There's also, what was I talking about? Alright, the hardest area in the game. Now, realistically, it's not that hard, but just at this point, I just think just the way that the enemies were sort of powered up compared to the items that you're given, and especially right after killing that dragon, it's just kind of strange with the power curve, how it was handled right at this specific spot in the game. And the only reason I say it was the hardest for me is because I died probably 6 times, and I hadn't died at any other point 6 times to literally anything else in this game, except for one boss fight way later that I will be getting to, but that is an optional boss fight. So yeah, I don't really know what the heck was going on here, but it was literally only this part, because even the parts afterwards were absolutely fine. So I don't know. But we're getting to it soon here. I think there's going to be a few more things we got to do. Just got to turn that wheel to knock down this block so we can climb up here, and then I will be entering into the next room. The Nornir chest is also extremely annoying because one of the stupid seals is hidden very rudely out of the way of the Nornir room. You're going to have to backtrack a little bit to get to it, and that's kind of my main complaint too with the collectibles in this game, is that the game is so amazingly paced. Like, you feel like you have enough downtime, you feel like you have enough uptime. There's time where you're just sitting on a boat and you're talking to Atreus, and there's times where you're just kind of doing this sort of stuff, fighting every now and then, and there's action, there's cutscenes. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it works very well until you get to a Nornir chest, and then you spend 10 minutes looking for the 3rd rune. Just because sometimes that stupid 3rd rune is just in the weirdest spot, or it's in the most obvious spot, and you just can't find it. Anyway, so here I'm having a really hard time with this guy because he's got a nightmare inside of him, and on top of that, he's resistant to my axe. And finally I get the nightmare out of him there, so that took forever. I don't know why on the heck I was having such a hard time fighting some of these nightmares this early on in the game. And then I decided, you know what, this isn't working, I gotta switch to my fists here. That's exactly what I do. The nightmare miraculously still isn't dead. I thought I had killed him, but nope, apparently not. He was just laying down there, kind of out of the way. And then finally I get rid of him. Holy cow, that was annoying. This guy is just, once again, he's made of ice. He's really resistant to our ice attacks. We'll have better things to deal with that later. And I am not kidding when I say that I was trying this whole time to switch back to my fists, but that wasn't quite working, so I just decided I'm gonna do it the slow way, I guess. Like, I don't know why. This guy was just one of the worst enemies. This guy, one of the worst enemies in the game for me to fight. I don't know what the heck happened there. I don't know what that was about. That was like the dumbest fight I'd ever done, but that's not the fight I was talking about. That was the hardest. That's coming up, and it's next here, so don't worry, I did cut out the other 50 deaths that took me here. And it's just because there's going to be a Reaver, I think they're called, or something like that. There is going to be this big giant tree sap in our way, and we're going to have to get some sap, I think, off to the right side here to blow that up. Or not yet, okay, well, we'll get, yeah, it's in here, but anyway, so here's the room. And basically, you're going to want to take off your, I think one way you could do is you could take off your axe, and then you could try to kick people off the edge back there, and I did that a couple of times, but the thing is, that guy with the giant hammer is just way too hard to kick back, and he doesn't get stunned very easily, especially at this point of the game. So what I found that worked was that you try to kill the little mini guys, because they are just going to do unnecessary amounts of damage to you. And when those guys are dead, you should be able to go up here and just try to parry and beat the crap out of this guy. But like I said, that guy's really close to the edge there. And he's got 2 attacks. One of them is unblockable, the other one is blockable, and that's the one you're going to want to block. So if you can try to kind of get him aimed around to the backside over there, you should be able to knock him off and kill him pretty quickly that way. But this guy just wasn't having any of that. And I decided, alright, fine, I guess I'll just see if I can get him stunned, because if you can get him stunned, you'll be able to throw him off just fine. And he should kill you at this point in like 2 hits, probably even less if you're on God mode. But as with any enemy in this game, he is pretty easy if you learn how to dodge all the attacks. And that one was kind of a shock that I parried that one. I was getting stuck by the camera there. Camera works fine in this game, but every now and then it does like screw you a little bit. And then this guy's gonna die. So that was a very annoying fight. I truly don't know why that was so hard for me. And I'm not lying when I say the rest of this game is like smooth sailing from here. I guess this guy was just sort of required to get me good at fighting things. I don't know, but that fight didn't look so bad there because it took me 6 tries and I got good at him, but yeah, that was the weirdest thing in the game. Literally the most that I had died to an enemy in this game, so glad that's over. Anyway, this is going to be the main puzzle room, and I'll be going through here, of course. We'll be getting that Nornir chest and destroying a couple of things as time goes on, throwing the tree sap onto the tree branches, and I think that's going to be it for me in this video. I will see you in the next one, or I think the one after. I'm pretty sure the next one is just all fighting. Or not fighting, cutscenes.
You gotta find a way to lower that bridge. That has to be the way out of here.
Another one here.
This one's called Emir. Mother tried to tell me this one, but I think I was too young. Are giants coming out of his armpits? I think that might be Odin stabbing him. What's that? Guess not. Now it's stuck on the other side. Tired of shattering things with this. Nightmare! think you got him. There should be one more.
Boy.
Yes, sir. Ah, I was wondering about this. Not long now, Mom.